Hey everybody, Marky here from John 1911. This is going to be a podcast rant. I'm going to title this, Franklin Armory Correction and Questions. So, long story really short, we did a podcast a couple weeks ago discussing some of the new things that came out of SHOT Show, and one of the hot topics of conversation was the Franklin Armory, I think that's called Franklin Armory, their non-SBR short-barreled rifle, their non-SBR firearm. So, one of the things that I should say is Franklin Armory has reached out to us a couple of times. They've apparently listened to that podcast, and I assume they will listen to this. And one thing they would like us to clarify is that the straight line, I guess you can't call it rifling, straight line lands and grooves, or straight line rifling, or whatever you want to call it, racetrack, their position is that is patent pending. So they are trying to get that locked down as IP. I think there is some question as to whether they'll be successful in that or not, and it's neither here nor there. If I was them, honestly, got to give them a bone. If I misspoke and I made an assumption that was not correct, that the straight line rifling is their technology, it's proprietary, then, so be it. I apologize, and that is what it is. So I want to get that out there and get that to the public. However, if we're going to reopen this, I guess it brings the question. I had to do a little bit of research on the Franklin Armory gun from SHOT Show, and I looked around, and as I recall off the top of my head, I'd seen some reports that they were claiming that their proprietary ammo with their lands and grooves was getting 1 MOA at 100 yards, and then their factory ammo, they were going to get 4 MOA. And then I'm seeing them in writing claiming 4 to 5 MOA. I'm also seeing reports from SHOT Show, from Range Day, Media Day Range Day, that their target setup was at 50 yards. And I believe people were shooting factory ammo. And the reports I'm seeing from multiple outlets is that people were getting 4 MOA at 50 yards with probably cheap bulk ammo, and the bullets were keyholing. Now, I don't have a problem with the MOA, and I don't have a problem with the bullets keyholing. I mean, at some point, that's if you have a rifle without rifling and without a twist, that's what you're going to eventually get. We've got hundreds of years of rifle barrels proving that point. So I guess that begs a couple of questions. The first question I have is the straight line lands and grooves, is that only for the benefit of their proprietary ammo, or does that also help stabilize factory ammo? The second question is, have they tested that? I'm curious, when they were developing this product, did they test smooth bore or other types of barrel designs with factory ammo, and did they see a decrease or change in the MOA at 50 and 100 yards with their straight line rifling? So, and the reason why I think those are important questions is, and I will go ahead and say this, I actually think the Franklin Armory rifle is a really good idea. I think it's really thinking outside the box, and I'm kind of a fan of it. I think I'm smart enough and old enough to realize that, when things like the SIG brace came out, back in the day, a lot of people poo-pooed that. I didn't know what to think of it, but look what that has done to the firearms market as a whole, right now. I mean, I never would have predicted that this had gone as far as it had gone. So maybe the Franklin Armory firearm non-SBR rifle is the beginning of the next trend. I think that when I saw this gun and people were talking about 4 MOA accuracy, I was like, well, that's interesting. 4 MOA at 100 yards for a short range, say, vehicle weapon or room blaster or house blaster. Most engagement distances are going to be within 100 yards. I mean, let's be realistic here. As a civilian, most people listening to this podcast, as a civilian, you are going to have a very, very, very tough time justifying taking a shot at anybody at 100 yards. You're just going to have a hard time doing it. Now, obviously, we can create some kind of scenario where that's that would be legal. But on on balance, if you look at the shootings and self-defense shootings that have taken place in the course of human history, at least since the beginning of the United States, a lot of them are within 100 yards, a significant portion of them, especially as more and more people live in urban environments. So I think this non-SBR firearm thing is a fantastic idea. I'm really pulling for it. However, I think the real question that I think Franklin Armory has to ask of its potential customers, and I'm certainly one of them because I would like to get one, is am I going to buy their custom ammo to shoot through the gun, or am I going to buy the gun, ignore the custom ammo, and buy bulk ammo that we're currently running through Armory? Well, the answer is the second. No, I don't see anybody buying this custom ammo. Everybody's going to buy this gun, and they're going to run bulk ammo through it. A 4 MOA group is at 100 yards. That's very acceptable. A 4 MOA group at 50 yards, which is over 8 MOA at 100, that's a huge problem. Keyholing at 50 yards, that's, we were all hoping that maybe it wasn't keyholing at 50. I've seen AK-74s keyhole at 50. The problem is an 8 MOA shot at 100 yards for combat accuracy has the potential for a complete miss on a human target. That's a problem. That's a huge, I will at least say for me, that's a huge turnoff. Yeah, if you're holding dead center, bigger guy like me, yeah, you'll hit me. You'll hit a guy, but combat accuracy when you're running and gunning and moving and things aren't perfect and this gun's designed to be a blaster, man, an 8 MOA group, that could be a 30% miss rate. It just really could be. And one would have to question whether it's worth buying this gun. Also, I guess to get back to the original reason why I even got to this point that I have to publish this rant is if the straight line rifling doesn't make a difference with bulk ammo or factory ammo, standard ammo, why even have the straight line rifling anyway? Frieza and I were discussing this just yesterday. There is no reason why we couldn't go out and get a receiver that hasn't been designated a rifle or a pistol and construct a, quote, firearm with a 11 or 12 inch barrel ourselves and do this a lot cheaper than, say, $2,000 or whatever it is that Franklin Armory is currently selling this gun for. So if the real question here is, does the straight line rifling affect factory ammo? Have they tested it? Can they prove it? And that'll answer whether the market's going to buy this or not. I'm pulling for the gun. If anything, I'm pulling for it the way the SIG brace kind of changed the market. And in closing, to mention the SIG brace, consider the following. The Franklin Armory gun, it's a beautiful idea, but consider that it's a carve-out created by government interference in the market. And just like the SIG brace is pushing the idea that more and more people want to get SBRs off the NFA, all the ATF has to do is change SBRs, and this gun goes away. It goes away as a product. So, something to consider. Anyway, I'm sure we'll have more about this on our blog page, john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.